Welcome to Atlanta Tarot. This is the tarot forecast for Taurus for this season of Libra. Welcome, Taurus. Hope you had a good Virgo season. It was a very slow moving season for most, but we'll just see what Libra brings. Energy around your reading is that Five of Swords, Taurus. Oh. So that's just that sort of conflict again. The people on the sidelines making their comments or engaging. It's an energy that's really, it's swords, so it's air, so it's mind, communication. And it's just saying, actually, Taurus, just don't really pay much attention to that, especially in Libra, because it is a swords. It will be lots of chit-chat and supposition, things like that. People that you will never please, so we won't, let's see why these Five of Swords are the energy around. This is where you are right now, Taurus. Making your own plans, doing your own thing. Progressing yourself without worrying about what other people are doing. It's all about focusing in on yourself and forward moving energy. But directly it's planning. Actually getting it done. Not fantasizing in your mind thinking, yeah, that'd be great. Oh yeah, I'll do that. This is actually really putting the energy in there to get it happening. And it's a great energy too, because it's wand, so it moves fast. Once you start with it, you're on track and you're great. So let's see what crosses that or what's brought that in. King of Wands. So yeah, really selling yourself there. Taurus, things moving forward and, sort of having a goal. Especially with that Two of Wands there where you are, and this is crossing it. It's sort of saying it'll move quickly, it'll move fast. However, bringing it back to the energy once again, there are some people on the sidelines going, oh, look at that, look at this. Don't worry about them, because you're going far and you're going to do it well. And it's just a lot about putting it out there. It's very creative, Taurus, so it's all about being creative, getting your voice out there. People listening to you as well. You've already got yourself in a pretty good position through hard work, so off you go. It's a brilliant card. Okay, let's see the background of the situation, or what crowns it, so what sits on top behind it all. Yeah, and there's that Four of Swords, so perhaps this was probably Virgo energy of just, oh my God, very slow moving, but having to sort of stepping back a little bit. It's almost like a recovery card as well. After you've been extremely busy, then you get this card coming in saying, whoa, you need to pull back a bit and just be a bit more sort of relaxed and observant rather than sort of participating in stuff. So that's the background energy. So you're obviously, these things have been in your mind and you've been tossing them around and just, going with it. And yeah, it kind of all, the puzzle comes together with the Four of Swords, because we actually, focus that mind on that and just sort of do mental sort of pros and cons. So this is good. It's really good, because now you've got action. So let's see recent influences. What's just happened recently, very recently, and we've got Justice, so balance, karmic energy as well. It's a major arcana, so it's a big card. It has a big effect, and it's sort of saying go for this because you've thought about it, you've given it thought, you've done your pros, you've done your cons, your fors and against, and now you've arrived just recently at this sort of nice balanced energy. And this actually, if you look at it, you can see the sign for Libra there, the hieroglyph for Libra. So Very karmic though, so this is something that you're meant to be doing anyway, and it's just flowing on for you, Taurus, because you people really work hard. You just focus and you work hard. You don't just sit around waiting for things to drop. You actually make things happen. So karmically, it's exactly how it should be for you. And funnily enough, it is Libra, in the time of Libra. So yeah, it's fortuitous for you. Now we're going to look at the lesson that you'll be learning in the Libra season. Another karmic card. Judgment. So karmic debt wiped free from before, obviously, because you balanced. Everything is how it should be. It's another big major arcana card, which means big sort of shift. So go for it. The timing's also good for this. And you've got no bits and pieces to fix up. The loose ends, I would imagine, would have been all trimmed off in the season of Virgo, because that's what Virgos are good at. They're just very thorough people. So you've got this to really focus on as your lesson for Libra season. Well done. New beginnings as well, obviously, with Judgment. Let's have a look now at the near future. And then we go into well and truly Libran energy of, Nine of Swords. Don't let your mind go over into overthink. There's nothing to worry about. This is just free-floating anxiety, Taurus, which sometimes keeps us up at night. We don't get that good sleep because you're just worrying too much about things that you can't control. And this card just sort of says, well, you need to find some alternative practices if you're not sleeping in, or just if you are getting in your head, go and do something physical to combat that whirring brain. It needs to sort of be put on to snooze for a bit, but don't worry about things just for the sake of worrying. And it's not really your vibe, actually, Taurus. You usually use energy very well and direct it well. So just remember that. So let's see what's happening that you're not realising. Down here, number 7. And there's the Sun. So if there is the healing card of the Sun, another major arcana. So let's pretend that you are worrying about something, overthinking, and then suddenly what you didn't realise was happening, well, the Sun will sort of iron out anything to be worried about anyway. The Sun sort of illuminates the darkest corner. You can actually see what's in there, if there is anything there. So with that, just use that energy, because it really is going to be beneficial for you, and you've worked hard for it. So no need to be overusing your brain for nothing, literally for keeping yourself awake and draining your energy. So Sun is great. Healing, yes, answer card, all of those fabulous things that people just look at the Sun and they can see it. So, but very illuminating as well, Taurus, I will say. So the Sun's your secret weapon for the Libra season. Let's see how others see you. Yeah, now what's happening here? A bit of 4 of Cups. So, yeah, emotionally others see you as just in a bit of a holding pattern. And maybe this is why you've got that energy of the 5 of Swords. Maybe in the time of Virgo season, you just were just sort of had more time to sort of think, and people just seeing you thinking, oh, what's wrong with him or what's wrong with her? It's the vibe that they sent, something emotionally there. But yeah, well, we all go through that, and with the 4 of Cups, we need to remember that, look around, we've got everything we need. But this often happens when we do have everything we need and we still want more, but we get more, and when we still feel like that. So it's a phase. It will pass, but it's just beggars the time to go, well, really, look at what I've got. But that's other people seeing you, hence probably the Five of Swords. Those people love to pick up on people's sort of change in energy, shift maybe. What you're feeling positive about, Taurus? The Hermit. Yeah, so the sign for Virgo, the card for Virgo, another major arcana. So it's about, yeah, as the Four of Swords says, just, you know, being wise, just stepping back, observing, watching. Yeah, a bit of a shift for you because you're normally quite busy, active, go-getter types of people, but the Hermit is Virgo and it's a slower, more deliberate. Even for Taurus, it's a fellow earth sign, however. Very wise to keep your own counsel and just get on with your planning as you're meant to be. The next project, Taurus. And keeping it to yourself too. I guess with the Hermit it just conjures up the aloneness or just solitary. Solitary time sounds better than aloneness, doesn't it? Because you can only do this in your own time, in your own energy. Let's have a look at what the outcome will be. The Moon. Yeah, so you're ending the season of Libra with this moon there, and near that full moon too, obviously. I think it comes just before we move into Scorpio, goodness. So this is, you know, exact opposite to the sun. But because you've got the sun down there in this position, it will shine out any deceptions or any feelings of things not being quite right. The sun will out the moon. The moon sort of hides things, keeps us in the dark. But yeah, there is funny business going on, but for you at the moment, you've got projects to be on with and things to do much more beneficial than just worrying, and keep your cards close to your chest and just know, yeah, well, look, intuitively, it's all going to come out anyway, so I'll just focus on my stuff and keep going. But knowing that this, whatever it is that's been hidden, well, partially hidden because we've got the sun here, will be actually outed by the time we move into Scorpio, sort of third week of October. Interesting. Sun, moon, all of that. Right. The only cards I'm going to put explanation cards on are the Four of Cups, how others see you, and that Nine of Swords, because, yeah, we just need to see what it is that you may overthink or worry about that doesn't have any, you don't have any reasons to worry. Look, put that there and one there. Okay, so underneath the Nine of Swords, fear for fear's sake, King of Swords. Yeah, you just plan, get on with things, you know, be clear in your mind. Don't sort of keep it directed into good energy. You've got clarity anyway, you know how to. This is sort of the air sign as well, like the air signs Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, and they're usually very powerful in their communication, their mind, but clarity is the key with them. So you know that. So that is what is under that fear card. So there's no need to be fearful. Just keep your mind sharp and focused on your stuff. Okay, underneath how others see you, we have the Magician. So yeah, potential, many fabulous potentials, but right next door to potentials there's risk. There's always risk with anything, but the Magician's fabulous because he's sort of saying he is the spirit messenger. So that's Mercury, which interestingly enough is the planet of communication. So very powerful card too to use And I feel like this Four of Cups has just been, you know, that's only the externals they see of you. Underneath that, because you're busy, you've got a project on the go, in the works, shall we say. And, you know, the Four of Cups, that sort of energy that they're seeing is just sort of like a detractor from what's really going on. Get on with what you've got to get on with, Taurus. Don't worry so much about that. That's a really good card, though, I think, because they're your potentials. And so these people who may be naysayers around you, they probably fear and worry what you're up to next. Okay, I'll just do the message card from the Buddha reading cards for you now for the end. Pure understanding. The stillness of the heart reflects heaven on earth. A truth unfolds with no strings attached. The heart becomes simple and pure. When you take away the personal stories and fears created by the mind and strip the toxic emotions of anger, self-doubt and frustration, you can look at what is happening quite simply as it is. So is that not a great card to have, especially with this fear for fear's sake? There's nothing there to fear. Just keep focused on what your project is for the next month. Use wisely the energy of Mercury with the Magician and just get on with your project, because you've got everything and it's going to do well. Have a wonderful season of Libra, Taurus. Thank you for listening.